Beyoncé's charity initiative, Be Good, is teaming up with her mother, Tina Knowles-Lawson, to provide coronavirus relief. They are launching a mobile testing relief campaign called I Did My Part in Houston this weekend. It encourages people in vulnerable communities to get tested for the virus. Joining me now with more on the campaign is Tina Knowles-Lawson. Tina, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So what motivated you to start this campaign, and what's your goal both in Houston and nationwide?
Well, we're hoping to start a movement, I Did My Part movement. In talks with Beyoncé, we talked about the lack of testing. Houston has the second lowest rate of testing in the country. And there is a large African American and Hispanic community there. And unfortunately, 33% of all people that have caught the virus and 33% of the fatalities, the people who have died, are people of African descent. So we wanted to just bring awareness that this testing already exists in Houston. We're not bringing the testing there. It already exists. And we just want to bring awareness so we can get people out. So we thought a good way to do that, those phrase, I did my part, kept coming up because we were like, everybody has to do their part. And so we have teamed up with Procter & Gamble, HEB, Tim Meddy of Matthew 25 Ministries, and together we have put together sort of like a celebration of testing. So if you come and get tested, you get all these free products. They're cleaning products, it's vitamins. That was very important. Cleaning supplies, gloves, masks. And we are treating everyone to a great lunch. They get a voucher to go to one of their favorite restaurants. So we're just trying to encourage people. And I've also encourage other celebrities to do the same in their city. So Tyler Perry is going to do it in Atlanta, Octavia Spencer in Mississippi. I just challenged Magic Johnson. He's going to do it in Detroit. So we hope that this will become a movement and that it will encourage us to get tested and to find out our status.
Well, it sounds like a real bright spot during what is really a difficult time for all Americans. As you know, several states across the U.S. are beginning to ease coronavirus restrictions, including Texas. I wonder, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm very sad about it because from what I understand, we have another couple of weeks that we could have flattened the curve a lot more. And I'm very afraid for businesses to open because people are still going out without masks, they're not taking precautions. And, you know, I haven't figured out how you can get your nails done without being in a close proximity of people. And I just think we could wait a little longer. The essential things are understandable, but getting your hair and makeup and nails and lashes done, I think that could wait.
Let's talk about Houston. You mentioned a moment ago the diversity there, but tell us why that city is so important to you personally, why you chose to launch your campaign there.
Well, we are from Houston. And so Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, who actually started the testing along with Doctors Joe Verone and United Memorial Hospital, she called me and told me that you know, they were really having a hard time. The first week that they tested, people showed up, and after that it dwindled down to hardly anything. And you know, our healthcare workers are out there all day in the heat waiting, and I just think people should take advantage of it because you don't want to go and spread this in your community to your loved ones because people are dying. This is like really serious right now. And so we just wanted to make people aware. And it's our hometown. We love Houston.
And I wonder, do you think that the messages from public health experts, Tina, are reaching especially communities of color, which, as I know you're aware, are particularly vulnerable to this virus?
Well, I think that it's reaching them, but I think that young people are not, they're not watching the news all day like we are. They're not watching CNN. And I don't think it's really sinking in to the young people because they're still wanting to party. Partying is the most important thing sometimes. And they have to understand that they can hurt. I give the example all the time. It sounds harsh, but if you transmitted this to your grandmother and you lost your grandmother, you never forgive yourself. So I think that it's mostly young people that are not paying attention. And, people need to educate themselves on how bad this disease is and that it's killing people and they're dying alone without their families. So it's very scary to me.
What role do you think celebrities, you mentioned Tyler Perry and others who are going to be engaging in similar campaigns in other parts of the country, but what role do you think celebrities can play during this pandemic to reach some of those young people in particular about what is the risk here from a public health perspective?
Well, I think it's so important because celebrities, I just spoke with Magic Johnson. And I shared with him that, we're giving buttons that say, I did my part. And the reason for that is we want to take away I don't know if you'd call it a stigma, but celebrities make things cool. And so hopefully they will have that effect and really be able to reach these young people.
Before we let you go, I want to ask you about Beyoncé's remix of Megan Thee Stallion's song Savage. Proceeds from the remix will benefit Bread of Life, an organization that provides meals to those in need in Houston. In the song, Beyoncé gave you a shout out saying, quote, "And my mama was a savage. Got this from Tina." First of all, tell us what that means, what being a savage is about. And does she get her philanthropy from you? Would you consider it to be part of what that means to be, quote unquote, savage?
Yes, it's funny because I wrote her and told her how proud I was because she and Jack Dorsey teamed up and they helped a lot of organizations during this COVID crisis. And I wrote her a text to tell her how proud I was of her for doing the work and, that she was doing God's work. And she said to me, yeah, because I want to be like you. And that was the best, I'm about to cry because it was the best compliment because it means that I really got that message across to them as kids. We've been feeding the homeless since Beyoncé was 10 and Solange was 5. So for a very long time. And as far as the savage is concerned, it's funny because people started texting me and calling me a savage. And I was like, why are they calling me a savage? Because I wasn't sure what it meant. And then someone put a video of this girl with a great body doing a dance, and I was like, oh, it's something good. But she said that, when she was in middle school, I used to drive up in my top down to pick her and Kelly up from school. And she'd say, God, my mom, the kids would say, oh, your mom's really cool. And so that's what she got it from that time.
Well, what a beautiful sentiment that she expressed to you, especially days away from Mother's Day. Tina Knowles-Lawson, what a pleasure it is to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right. Thank you for having me.